I feel like, man, whatever you do wrong must come back around in a circle. Just like, you know what I'm talking about? If you did wrong and everybody know it's blatant, the truth is out in the open. You sent that type of energy towards the young Dolph way, and you got young Dolph knocked off. I talked to Govan. I did an interview with Hernandez Govan, the dude who said the whole, supposedly, you know what I'm saying, Dolph murder.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad to hear that.
It's just Memphis one of them cities like that. You know what I mean? Like, if you pay attention, it always been a artist at the city saying, I'm the king of Memphis. I'm the king of Memphis. That's why it done been so hard for other artists to pop out and take off, because everybody want to be that the big one is just me. You know what I mean? But
CMG's whole empire is looking shaky in plain sight now. Like the walls are finally letting the world see what's been hiding behind that polished image. For years, people in the streets whispered that something felt off around Yo Gotti. But now those whispers sound more like warning sirens blasting across Memphis. Stan G, one of the few voices in the city people actually trust, went on No Jumper and dropped a heavy statement that had everybody leaning in. He didn't sugarcoat a thing. He spoke with that calm confidence that tells you he ain't making stuff up, saying straight up that Gotti might be preparing a move against Blac Youngsta. And this ain't internet rumors.
Hell, at this point, because you lost all the his last artist is Glorilla. She doing crazy because he putting a crazy bag behind Glorilla.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? So Glorilla, she gonna shine regardless right now. But when he go over there and dealing with them Texas boys, them folk got hit up. Them folk got hit up everywhere he go to, like the Fed watching. You know what I'm talking about? He signed that boy over there, that boy ended up going to jail. So they watching that boy so close right.
This is coming from someone who talks to the same folks who are close to the young Dolph situation. So when Stan G opens his mouth, people actually listen because his words feel like they're coming from the inside of the storm. He said the same energy Gotti allegedly threw toward Dolph is the kind of energy that came back and had Dolph targeted. And people froze for a second thinking, if Gotti could move like that toward someone he didn't vibe with, what keeps him from flipping on someone standing right next to him? Stan G didn't soften anything. He said Youngsta was basically Gotti. Sin, the one who stepped out front and handled the wild moments for the team. He was the loud one in the videos, the one creating all the motion, the one saying stuff nobody else would ever dare put on camera. At first, that helped CMG blow up. Youngsta's energy was everywhere. The street stayed talking, and it felt like everything tied to Gotti turned gold. But now,
cause bro, it's like, what if you so gangster? Why the f you rapping? Why you ain't out there killing? You need to go do some murders, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you're a killer, go kill some shit. You out here on this stage for, you know what I'm saying? So I look at it like, so many people want to be rappers. There's so many people I ain't no rapper, I'm a street. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much bullshit. So I had to wonder to myself, like,
that same energy got a whole different tone with Dolph's situation still haunting Memphis. And it's making Youngsta look less like a soldier and more like a liability. In Gotti's world, once something becomes risky, it doesn't get protected. It gets replaced. That's how fast things change when pressure starts closing in from all sides. Stan didn't even need to spell the rest out. Everyone knows how this industry works. Once you stop bringing value inside CMG, your clock starts ticking fast. Fans watching the interview could feel it. This wasn't drama talk. It felt like a coded warning from someone who already heard whispers behind closed doors. He even reminded everyone of a street lesson that never fades.
the only reason I didn't do it, like I could have went over there and got what got it and got the co-signer and sped my whole process up. But at the same time, I couldn't do it because I had too much of my own money and too much of my own time invested into it. So it wouldn't have made sense for me. You see what I'm saying? And man, it's like, that's Memphis, bro. That town is too small. You know what I mean? Like, whatever, if anything, if he wanted to do something, I wanted to do something, bro, it's like, let's do it. That town is small.
The energy you throw out always circles back. And with the way Gotti been moving, Youngsta's loyalty might be the very thing placing him in danger instead of protecting him. That idea alone made folks sit up like, hold on, this could get way deeper than music. CMG used to look unstoppable. Gotti had the perfect lineup. Moneybag Yo running the playlist circuit, Youngsta creating viral moments of pure personality, and Glorilla storming into the game with the kind of buzz labels dream about. From the outside, they looked like one solid family where everybody shined together. But that picture is starting to crack. Moneybag's momentum cooled down. Youngsta went quiet, and Gotti's attention seems fully locked on Glorilla. The only one still dropping heavy heat that keeps CMG's name floating strong. And even she is carrying a big load now because she is the main piece holding the label together while everything around her starts looking unstable, instead of family vibes.
I like that.
What's the first thing you plan to do?
Go hug my son.
Mr. Govan, you haven't smiled all this week, but obviously you have a lot to smile about. Just tell me just about what you're feeling in right now.
Like I said, it's kind of hard to explain the feeling of getting your life back.
On time, see, it's a long story behind Blac Youngsta. See, Blac Youngsta was hanging with one of Gotti enemies before he got with Gotti.
Okay.
So Blac Youngsta is somebody who just jump around for the money. He's just a send out. He one of the biggest send outs from Memphis. They just keep it.
Everything around CMG feels like straight survival mode now. Folks are starting to wonder who is actually safe in this camp and who might be the next one pushed out the circle. And right when the whispers were rising, something happened that cranked the tension even higher. Blac Youngsta suddenly wiped CMG out of his bio, and it hit the internet like a shockwave, because that wasn't no casual cleanup. It looked like he was sending a loud message without saying a word. Then he started dropping those mysterious captions, the type that sound like quiet shots, aimed at somebody he once stood shoulder to shoulder with. Right when people noticed Youngsta acting distant, Stan G came back with another heavy message that flipped the whole mood. People stopped clowning around and stopped calling it trolling.
Y'all rich tell them bitch what it is, bro.
YFN shit, y'all fly niggas,
Look,
CMG
big.
shit, y'all rich niggas, every count shit.
Nah, I would never them broke ass. That shit. When I was broke, why would I them now they broke? It ain't my fault you broke. You are playing on me. I'm telling my mom, ooh, I'm pregnant. Ooh, my shoe just fell out. Ooh, my head just fell out. Ooh.
They started realizing this might be something real, moving behind closed doors. The energy around CMG shifted quick, like the whole crew started walking lighter overnight. Fans began spotting every little sign. The camp docente look locked in like before. Every post looks coded. Every move feels strategic. All that talk about loyalty doesn't hit like it used to. Something in the air feels off. And people watching this drama are studying every detail like they're solving a case. To understand why Gotti and Blac Youngsta sit under so much tension, you gotta take it back to young Dolph. Because that is where the whole issue was born. Years ago, Gotti tried to sign Dolph, but Dolph turned it down flat. A straight, clean no. And from that moment on, everything shifted.
Come well regarded, man. I mean, Sean Jay-Z Carter speaks very highly of you, right? I mean, Steve Stout speaks very highly of you. You know, I can't find a person that says anything bad about Yo Gotti, and they always say how smart you are, how focused you are, and a lot to get into about your business personality.
Gotti didn't take that rejection like business. He allegedly started blocking Dolph's plays and trying to slow him down. But the crazy part is, it didn't stop Dolph at all. It made him even more respected, more independent, more powerful in the streets. What started as competition turned into something the whole city felt in real life. The music got louder, interviews got messier, and things started crossing out of rap into actual tension out here. And right in the middle of that storm was Blac Youngsta. Loud, fearless, and ready to move however he felt was needed for the team.
Jury found the defendant, Hernandez Govan, not guilty in count 2 of the indictment.
It was said more than once as the 45-year-old was acquitted on both counts. Govan was unable to contain his excitement as he embraced his pro bono defense attorneys, but out of view were the supporters of Young Dolph who were hoping Lady Justice would tip in their...
He wasn't just rapping, he was really outside, pulling up to neighborhoods, filming wild videos, and stepping into spaces most artists would never risk because it could bring serious danger. Back then, people thought it was just his brand, that wild, animated style that made him stand out. But looking at it now, it feels way deeper than branding. Even Stan G said it straight. That was a federal move. Because Youngsta was putting himself in situations that Cuvée brought heat on him and everybody standing near him. Even though nothing was ever proven on Gotti or Youngsta, the streets already created their own version of the story. And once your name gets tied to something like that, The cloud follows you forever. That's the shadow sitting on CMG right now. And that SY Youngsta Dante look like CM as golden piece anymore. He looks like a reminder of something the label can escape, no matter how much success they try to stack. There was a time when Youngsta was CMG's fire starter. The spark that kept everything lit. It made jokes, pulled stunts, flashed money, turned every room into a show, and kept CMG trending non-stop. Anytime the label needed attention, Youngsta brought it right away. Fans loved that energy. They viewed him as the loyal soldier, the one who would never fold, never switch, never question the team. That loyalty kept his fan base solid and made him seem like the heart of CMG. But Stan G saw the whole thing differently. He didn't see loyalty. He saw a setup. He said Youngsta was one of the biggest sendouts in Memphis, meaning Gotti would allegedly send him to handle the dangerous work while he stayed clean behind the scenes. And when you look back, all those stunts, all those high-risk moments, all those videos, it really does start to paint that picture. Gotti stayed calm, polished, and protected, playing the executive role, while Youngsta was the one out front catching all the pressure on camera. That dynamic worked back when everything was about viral moments and buzz. But that type of job has an expiration date, especially once Dolph was gone. The tone changed. The same antics that once looked fun now look explosive and risky. The loyalty that once made Youngsta look powerful now makes him look like someone carrying too much weight. Every diss, every old lyric, every piece of history, people never forgot. Hits different now. What once made him the energy of the label now becomes the heaviest baggage Gotti has to pull. Youngsta's gone quiet these days, and Stan G even said it clear. Youngsta is in hide mode because Dolph's situation is still floating over him like a dark cloud he can tee out. In the streets, silence looks like pressure or fear. And in Gotti's world, that silence screams one word loud: liability. The type of artist who could attract the wrong eyes at the wrong time. That's when people started realizing the inside of CMG ain't solid anymore. Youngsta kept going viral for wiping CMG out of his bio and posting like he is fully independent. Every time it happened, fans turned into detectives. Timelines went wild, and people argued for days. Then, eventually, he popped up under CMG again, like nothing ever changed but this time. No. This one feels different. The tension is too loud and too personal. With Stan G's warning still echoing, Youngsta began posting long emotional messages. Not the funny ones, but the ones that hit deep. He started calling out fake CEOs, fake big homies, fake brothers titles. The people been connecting to Yo Gotti for years. He didn't have to say a name. Everybody caught the point instantly. Then he pushed even harder, talking about fake loyalty, fake love, and trusting the wrong people. And the tone didn't sound like entertainment. It sounded like someone who finally realized the game he believed in wasn't he. The game being played behind his back. What shocked the streets the most wasn't the drama. It was the pain in Youngsta's voice. He wasn't talking rich talk or flashy talk. He was speaking about losing people, feeling alone, feeling unsafe, and how even when you rise, you can still feel targeted. It sounded like a man who feels the pressure building around him from all directions. The timing was too perfect to ignore. People were already saying CMG looked unstable, and then Youngsta stepped in with messages that basically confirmed the whole thing. The structure looks fragile, and every post he makes shakes it even more. He didn't type Yo Gotti's name once, but he didn't need to. Anyone paying attention can see exactly who those messages were for. The tension is loud, bold, and impossible to hide. And then there's Gotti. Yo Gotti has always carried himself like a real mob boss, calm and sharp, moving like nothing in the world can ever shake him. Even to Name Gotti comes from John Gotti. That's the whole image he spent years creating. That quiet pressure, that heavyweight aura that makes people around him fall into place, without him even raising his voice. So when Blac Youngsta started throwing those fake CEO and fake boss shots, Gotti didn't ignore it. He clapped back in his own slick way, using bars, layered with mob-style talk and even sliding in a Jay-Z Ty intro reference, just to remind everyone who he believes sits at the head of the table. That was his way of saying, don't get it twisted. I'm still the one in control. That's when the whole atmosphere shifted from simple tension to something that felt straight dangerous. In any mob-style setup, break and rank ain't just disrespect, it's betrayal. And betrayal never ends clean. That kind of move brings real consequences in a world built on loyalty, fear, and codes. Nobody speaks out loud. After Young Dolph's death, the tension between Youngsta and Gotti didn't feel like whispers anymore. It started showing through the music, the captions, and the long silences that came after. That's the moment CMG's polished image cracked in front of everyone. When Dolph was killed, the streets didn't wait for details. Fingers went up immediately, and too many of those fingers pointed straight at CM. Even Gotti's own brother, Big Juke, got snatched up for questioning. And that moment threw the whole city into chaos. Then it got even crazier. The man accused of killing Dolph Hernandez Goban ended up getting acquitted, and that verdict sent tremors across Memphis. Anyone paying attention could feel the pressure squeezing right back towards CMG. Like a boiling pot about to overflow. And the last thing Gotti needed during all that was someone on his own roster stirring more attention. But that's exactly what Blac Youngsta did. Out of nowhere, he dropped a whole music video at a cemetery, standing next to a headstone with Dolph's last name fully visible. Then he jumped online posting wild messages like he didn't care what fans, the city, or the whole industry thought. Maybe he saw it as loyalty, a stand on business forever kind of attitude that built his whole brand. But to Gotti, that looked reckless, messy, and dangerous for the CMG name. Fans could feel the shift instantly. What once seemed like ride-or-die loyalty now looked like a dangerous fuse burning down fast toward the label. The cracks between Youngsta and Gotti weren't rumors anymore. They were sitting right out in the open for everyone to see. And as the tension rose, CMG's shine started fading quick. Moneybagg Yo's momentum slowed. 42 Doug got wrapped up in legal issues, and Youngsta went silent like he knew. Eyes were on every move he made. Even Stan G said it straight. Gotti can't move like he used to anymore. Too many eyes watching. Too many people waiting for anything that looks like a slip since Dolph's death. The streets feel it. The industry feels it. And Memphis definitely feels it. Right now, the only one keeping CMG's name alive in the spotlight is Glorilla. She's the last bright spark on the roster. But even she can't carry an entire empire forever by herself. The momentum is slowing down. Loyalty is cracking apart. And what once looked like an untouchable CMG machine now looks fragile, like it's shaking at the foundation. People aren't asking who's next to blow up anymore. They're asking who's next to fall out. And that's where things get dangerous for Blac Young. Everybody knows. Yo Gotti ain't just some rapper with a couple hits. He's connected in ways regular artists never get to see. Stan G said it clearly. Gotti has ties in places most people never touch. The kind of connections where one phone call can freeze your whole career. So when Youngsta starts throwing shade online, this isn't basic rebellion. This is risky territory. In a world where loyalty gets treated like currency, being labeled a liability doesn't just mean losing your spot. It means losing everything you fought to build. And the silence between them feels so loud it's almost shaking the walls. Let's be real. If Youngsta and Gotti ever clash for real, this won't be harmless rap drama. This could get ugly fast. Gotti moves like the unofficial president of Memphis, with influence stretching from studios to streets, from business deals to industry circles. His reach is long, and everybody knows it. And if this mess spills into the real world, then we're not talking about songs or subliminals anymore. We're talking about situations that could pull in families, friends, whole groups of people who didn't ask to be part of this storm. That's why folks watching all this feel uneasy. The tension feels too close to something Memphis has seen before. But the real twist, Blac Youngsta ain't built to fold. He's never been the type to bite his tongue or move quiet when he feels crossed. That same wild energy that made him a fan favorite is the exact same energy that makes this whole situation feel like it's about to explode. Youngsta is emotional, unpredictable, and never scared to speak his truth. That's why fans loved him, why CMG once felt unstoppable. But now, that same spark makes him the most dangerous piece on the whole board, mixing Youngsta's raw personality with Gotti's cold, calculating style is exactly how storms get created. You can feel it. A storm brewing heavy in the air. Nobody wants to watch another tragedy unfold like the Dolph situation. The tension feels too familiar, too sharp, too close to real danger. Youngsta is calling out fake CEOs, and Stan G is warning the city that Gotti might see him as a problem. That isn't subtle. That's a full warning sign blinking bright. The streets are watching, and even the fans who once praised CMG's unity are whispering about how dark this could get. If this situation doesn't set leçon, CMG won't just lose an artist. It could lose its whole legacy. The empire Gotti built on loyalty, hustle, and power is shaking in front of the world. That untouchable image is cracking, and the pressure is pushing everyone toward the edge. The real question isn't if CMG is breaking. That part is already on display. The real question now is, how far will Gotti go to keep control? Because if Stan G's warning has any truth in it, then Blac Youngsta might be standing right at the edge of something way darker than a music disagreement. And with both sides sending signals, one thing is clear. This story ain't done yet.